Elon Musk, for the first time in his life of public derangement, is publicly saying he went too far. We've been reporting to you for months now that Elon Musk went too far in the very first thing he did in government, which was to take food away from starving babies, from starving families in the middle of a famine in Sudan. Elon Musk never asked how many starving children were waiting for that food when he personally ordered a complete shutdown of the delivery of that food, which is now rotting in warehouses around the world. Elon Musk wanted the food to rot instead of delivering it to starving children. But Elon Musk is not sorry about that. He's sorry, but he's not sorry about that.
It's Ken Harbaugh with the MeidasTouch Network. I'm going to share a link below to this entire monologue from MSNBC's Lawrence O'Donnell about Elon Musk's complete lack of morality. It's brilliant. I hope you watch it. In the wake of Musk's feud with Donald Trump and the half-hearted attempts at reconciliation, some Democrats are arguing that it is time to welcome Musk home into the arms of the Democratic Party. You can probably guess how I feel about that, but I wanted to talk to an expert, someone who has studied and written about Elon Musk and the billionaires around him for years. We've had Owen Higgins on the show before. His latest piece on MSNBC confronts this dilemma head on. Here's our conversation. Welcome to the Ken Harbaugh Show. I've got Owen Higgins back on. He's an author and historian, and he's got a great new piece on MSNBC titled, "Some Democrats Want to Reconcile with Musk. That Would Be a Big Mistake." Before you explain the mistake to us, Owen, what is the impulse among Dems to welcome Musk? I mean, we have to say back into the fold, because at one point he was an ally, or at least said he was, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think at one point when the Democrats were ascendant, when they had more power, he was more friendly toward them. I kind of see that, and I write about it in the book, as kind of a business decision, more than like anything ideological. But he certainly was framing himself as kind of like a liberal savior, as someone who was going to provide clean energy, as the magical liberal billionaire. And then, of course, it had started to change for a while, but about 5 years ago with COVID, he really went to the right. And yeah, so the Democrats who are doing this are primarily, I mean, Ro Khanna is like the number one. This is the Democrat from California. He's really, like, I would call him, Representative Ro Khanna, D Silicon Valley, I think would be, an appropriate way to refer to his ideology. He's always been very friendly to the tech sector. He's been particularly friendly to Musk in the past. And so he is kind of like using this moment as maybe an opportunity to try to get Musk back. And, there have been a couple others. Richie Torres, as I note in the piece, gave a kind of a soft endorsement of maybe welcoming Musk back. Eric Swalwell kind of did the same thing. Then some liberal commentators like Bill Maher have been saying the same kind of thing for a while at this point, and those are kind of more really conservatives who align with the Democrats who want Musk back in because they agree with him on a lot of social issues. So, long story short, there's kind of this existing constituency to get Musk back into the fold, and that's kind of who these guys are, and this is what they're doing. But whether or not it's going to be successful is a good question. Richie Torres did tell Politico that he was really not sure that something like this could even happen, just because of like everything that Musk has done.
Well, the subtitle of your piece is both he, Musk, and the president remain threats to democracy. So there's the answer as to why this is a bad idea, but can you elaborate?
Yeah, I mean, I really believe that the Silicon Valley right wing, in particular, these billionaires are a threat to democracy. I think that they are using their wealth and power to control information and politics in a way that we haven't really seen in the past. Although we've seen other industrialists try and do this, but Silicon Valley has a kind of a unique position because of their control over the information ecosystem that we use every day. And but Musk, more than any of the rest of them, joined with Trump. He was in the White House. His so-called Department of Government Efficiency worked to basically kind of destabilize the regulatory state. The federal government is in a worse position than it was now that he's left than when he entered, right? So he left it in a worse position than it was before that. And Trump, of course, I don't think I need to tell your audience, is a threat to democracy. I mean, he's been like this ever since he really joined political life 10 years ago, notwithstanding the birther stuff before that, but, running for president, he is run on what I kind of consider an anti-democratic platform. I'm sure that you would consider that as well. And I think that when you look at what these two men have done, and when you look at not only what they've done in the last few months, but their past 10 years, in Musk, I guess more like 5 years, it has been disruptive to democracy. They don't seem to have a commitment to the small L liberal values that this country was founded on. And I think that they are dangerous. I think they remain dangerous. And I really believe that kind of reconciling with Musk, it would be to kind of ignore all of that stuff and pretend that it doesn't exist. And I think that's a major mistake.
Hey, it's Ken Harbaugh. Huge shout out to everyone who has supported this show via our Patreon page. If you want to weigh in with questions for upcoming guests or give us feedback on past guests or make sure you never miss an episode, click the link below. It's free to sign up. And if you're able to pitch in a few bucks a month, just know that we put every dollar back into the show. We do have another reporting trip to Ukraine coming up. Thanks for the help. Well, on the right, there is a concerted effort to facilitate some kind of reconciliation. You share some reporting that is probably equally unrealistic. I mean, the rift between Trump and Musk is deeper than most people imagine, and these are both people who hold grudges.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, anything could. I think the one important thing to note is that, of course, Musk has a lot of government contracts. He has a lot of money tied up in the federal government, and he doesn't want to lose this fight in a way that would hit his pocketbook. Now, having said that, though, he is a small, insecure little man who flies off the handle the minute that he's challenged. So once Trump it's kind of interesting watching them go back and forth, right? Because Musk says some stuff and then Trump finally hits back. But Trump is in control of the federal government, or at least he's the head of it. And so he's definitely able to say, hey, we'll take away your contracts. The minute that he said that, Musk started to freak out. And he implied that Trump is a pedophile, basically, by tying him to Epstein. I mean, those ties are real. He wasn't saying anything that wasn't real here. But by mentioning that, I feel like that is probably over the line. And I think everything that Trump has said since then indicates that to me. It doesn't seem like it's really a reparable breach. And that's what Laura Ingraham said on Fox that day. The day after that stuff, she said that she thought that she was hearing that it was irreparable. And it doesn't seem like Trump has really any interest to kind of get back in Elon's good graces. While Musk, I think, does want to get back in Trump's good graces, but I don't think that is going to happen unless he really prostrates himself in front of Trump, which is hard to see. It's hard to see somebody with his ego doing that. It
is hard to see, but we know that it is effective. I mean, you can literally say anything about Trump. You can call him America's Hitler, and if you genuflect low enough, he will not only have you back, but make you his vice president. So There is a path back for Musk. I'm wondering if you have any philosophical observations, having reported on this, about the nature of power and how conflicted we are as Americans about the power of money and oligarchy versus the power of raw power. I mean, it's almost Game of Thrones-esque in how this has played out, right? Elon, I think, assumed he held more cards than he did because he's the richest man in the world. But raw power is raw power. And I think Trump has demonstrated that. Do you have any observations about that aspect of this?
I mean, I think that's a really sharp analysis of what's going on. And I would say, Musk on paper is the richest man in the world, right? He has somewhere between $300 and $400 billion on paper. Again, like this is, based on the companies that he owns. Trump controls or is the head of the federal government. That's trillions of dollars. Not only that, it is the state. I mean, like he is the head of an organization that is everywhere. And I'm not saying that in like a paranoid black helicopter way. I'm saying that the federal government is the state power that oversees daily life within this country. We do have states, we have city, we have local governments. That all of that is true, but the federal government is the final word. And I think that someone like Musk is probably. I think he did think that he had more power. I think he did think that he had more influence. And I think that the reason that he assumed that is he was looking at Trump as just another rich guy, right? So like, hey, I'm worth 400 billion. You're only worth 5 billion. I mean, who knows? Like, how many of these numbers are real? How much of it is on paper? But let's just go with those numbers. Yeah, sure. Like in that case, he has more money and power than Trump. But Trump, again, is the president of the United States. That's the most powerful person in the world. And I also think that you have to consider how much of Musk's wealth is tied up in the federal government and tied up in federal contracts. You don't really have the power if your wealth is dependent on the whims of the person who you're attacking, right? If your power is dependent on their the kindness of the federal government and the person who you're attacking is the head of the federal government, I'm sorry, there's no power dynamic here to kind of like discuss, right? There's no up and down or back and forth. Like one of you has the power and one of you doesn't.
Are you going to write a book about this one? I mean, someone is going to. This is going to be turned into a movie. You've got to be thinking about it.
I am thinking about it. We'll see what happens. It's been such a wild ride already. There's a lot of different ways it could go.
Well, thanks, Owen, for joining us. Let's have you back soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.
New Meidas merch drop. Check out the latest pro-democracy sticker packs, t-shirts, hats, sweatshirts, and more. All at store.MeidasTouch.com.